A lot of people. The Merlin Players, professional theater, putting on a holiday show. Totally local story called Wrapped in Love and Glory. Juliana Skluzacek, the artistic director for the Merlin Players, is with us. Doug Madow is the music director for this play, and boy, that's got to be fun because there are 26 songs from the World War II era in the play. Thanks, Juliana, for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Michael Lambert, I think, is going to join us later. He's a little under the weather.
Yes, he is. I mean, yes, he's under the weather, and yes, he's joining us.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Doug, this had to be a fun show to be the music director of.
Absolutely, and I'm the accompanist also, so that's the really fun part. Everybody's been so talented and so cooperative.
Yeah. Now this is 3 women doing this in the style of the Andrews sisters, you say?
Right. It's Barb Piper, who is definitely, well known in the area for her singing voice and her talent. Lisa Quimby, and a friend of mine, Gail Thompson, who's driving down from Stillwater.
Oh my, that's a haul.
I know, and we're having a wonderful time, and the women sound wonderful.
I'll bet they do.
Yep.
By the way, Juliana sent me a picture. This is the picture that you guys did to publicize the play.
Correct.
It's on our website. You have to take a look at this, folks, KDHLradio.com. I just love that picture.
Yes, the Woolen Mill has been such a good partner with us and getting this production together. And I talked to Paul Moody there, and he said, sure, come out after 5 o'clock and take photos. So we went out a couple of months ago and took photos in the plant itself after they were done working. So with pictures of the women who are by the big, huge looms and that sort of thing. And we happened upon one of the looms had on it that they were working on the actual Army Green GI blankets there. So that was really fun. It was like, well, let's take the photos right here, It
is perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. So you were telling me the set is awesome.
It is. It's Michael Lambert's concept. And what we've done is we're all the way to the back wall at the Paradise. So all the brick back there is exposed and everything. And then Michael has a very large Faribault Woolen Mill blanket collection. And we took them and we hung them all over the back wall, with the help of my great build team, Matt Drenth and Bill Stronsky. They did, I don't know how they've got these things up on the wall, but they do, and they look fabulous.
This show includes, as we mentioned, music from the time period.
From the period, yes.
But it's not all Christmas music, right?
No, it's not. There's a few Christmas songs salted in that coordinate with letters from the front that were written to the women that worked at the mill from their men overseas, and so there's some Christmas music that fits into the period.
And they're real letters.
Right.
So it's wonderful.
Oh yes, people need to know these are authentic letters, hardly edited at all. This is what the men were thinking and communicating back in the day.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool to see. But Troy Temple did a video with these guys, right? And it's in the show.
Right, exactly. There are a lot of moving parts in the show. We have video, we have scenes, we have narration, we have music, all woven together almost seamlessly. It'll be seamless by Friday night.
Right.
It's just a lot of moving parts. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to visit with Michael after our break, which is coming up here shortly. You have a favorite song in this play?
Ooh.
Well, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy is a lot of fun to play.
I'll bet it is.
Just because it moves along so well, and it's boogie style piano, which I'm pretty comfortable with.
Yeah, you love that, I'm sure.
Also, Lisa does Moonlight Serenade towards the end of the show, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
Is that good, huh?
Yeah, it's that good. It is so intense.
I have a feeling I might have tears rolling down my cheeks during I'll Be Home for
We're
Christmas.
hoping. We want to make you laugh and cry.
Yeah.
It's, that moment, Moonlight Serenade, with the character of Helen writing her husband is wonderful.
All right, we're going to talk with Randy or Jeremy about Gold Country seed harvest results and early season discounts. Juliana Skluzacek is the artistic director for the Merlin Players. Doug Madow is the music director for this play, which is Wrapped in Love and Glory. We now have the playwright and the director, right? Michael Lambert on the air. Hi, Michael.
Well, I'm the director.
Hi there, Gordy. Juliana is the director, so don't get me in trouble.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, tell us about the idea to write this play.
Well, the Merlin Players, the board of directors a few years ago, they asked me for some ideas on shows that we could put together for the Christmas season this year. And so I gave them quite a few different ideas, and then they honed in on this one. And then they tasked me with writing it. And I was like, oh crap, what have I put myself into? So, did some research. I know the Clever boys. You know, their family owned the woolen mills for centuries, a century, I should say. And so I got in touch with both Tom and Dave, and they put me in contact with Jeff Jarvis. You know, Jeff is a local historian who knows a ton about all of the different mills that were along the Cannon River there. So Jeff actually, he did a lot of research and conducted a lot of interviews with former employees of the woolen mills, and he came up with a ton of information that he gladly shared with me, generously shared with me. So that's where it came from.
He was able to collect those letters, or did you do that?
I collected most of the letters. You know, the wonderful age of the internet, it has a lot of this information on there. And also, Juliana's dad had written letters back from the front to her mom, so she shared those with me. And then I have a co-worker whose dad was in the Navy, and she shared his letters with me as well. So there's a personal connection to quite a few people through those letters.
Yeah, I'll say, Juliana, I don't know do you save your letters nowadays?
Sometimes I'll save a special card, and I get notes sometimes about the shows that I do, and I save those. Sometimes they're on my fridge, and you know, that sort of thing.
But it's cool that your mom saved this letter.
Oh
letters,
yes, And I have all the letters that Roger wrote me home from Vietnam too. So
they're special and place in your heart, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are. I was gifted with these letters from my dad before he died, and he told me to take care of them, and I could read them after he was gone. So after he died, it took me a while. I tried to read them the year after he died. I couldn't do it. I was a mess. And so, but then last summer when we were working, Michael was working really hard on the show. I made myself sit down one afternoon and read them all. And it was a wonderful insight into my parents' relationship.
Something you didn't know before.
Lots of things I didn't know before.
Isn't that amazing? Michael, this is just, it sounds like it's going to be an awesome play, and we appreciate you writing this.
You know, it's, the woolen mill has a special place in Faribault, and thank God that the Moody cousins came in and saved it. And, you know, production continues. And actually, I'm home sick with a cold, unfortunately, but I'm wrapped up in one of my own Faribault blankets. So, you know, it gives comfort to me, and it gives comfort to those troops that they provided the blankets for during the wars.
So did you and Juliana both pick the songs, or how did that work? Did Doug pick some of them?
Doug was very influential in it. As Doug will tell you, I put too many songs in it, but how are you going to edit all of the wonderful music of that era? So, you know, the story kind of goes along, and the music adds to the story. So each song, each couple throughout the show, they have their own song, but then there's, you know, all the songs of the era. We got Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and In the Mood and Billy Dick and all sorts of different wonderful songs of the era.
I don't know why I like those songs, but I really love that music.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wasn't alive back in World War II, but Juliana, you like that music, right?
I love it. I just speaks to me.
Doug?
These songs are like cheesecake for piano players.
Ooh, I like that.
They almost play themselves. And rather than edit down Michael's choice of music, what we've done in many cases is just play a a verse, a bridge,
Sure.
And a chorus, and kind of leave the audience wanting, because if you're expecting 3 minutes and 5 seconds of each song, it's not going to be that much, but that allows us to put even more into what we deliver.
Oh, sure. Michael, this show would not be the show, if I'm hearing you right, without the music.
It wouldn't be the show without the music, and we could not do the music without Doug Madow.
I asked
So, yeah.
I asked him a year ago to do the show when we were talking about it. I said, Doug, I have a project for you. We're not going forward until you say yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, someone like with Doug's skills, they're not easy to find. And so we needed him.
Well, Doug, I hope we can get you out the door here today.
I had other jobs on the books before Julie asked me to do this show, and I had to honor those commitments also. So we've had to jack our rehearsal schedule around shows that I was already committed to, but everybody was willing, and I was happy to do it. I'd also like to give a shout out to our percussionist, Nate Uppedahl. Just sat in for the last few rehearsals and enhances the music beyond words.
So, Michael, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We have a terrific trio. The girls, they're just doing a terrific job, Andrew's sister style, and it's really amazing. They have 3 very, very, very different voices, but they work together just beautifully.
That's correct. And I think that one of my favorites is Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree, but that was my mom and dad's song.
Oh, there you
and
go.
we actually played it at my dad's funeral.
Oh.
So every night when I get a little misty when they sing that song.
I'll bet you do. You have a favorite song in the play, Michael?
They just knocked the Boogie Woogie Boogie Boy out of the park. But one of my favorite songs ever across the board is The Nearness of You. And they just do a beautiful song with that. They make that into a very beautiful song, part of the story.
So Doug was telling us earlier that we're probably going to cry a little and laugh a little during this, right?
Absolutely. We've been listening to the rehearsals, and every once in a while I'll say, "This is hilarious. Who wrote this?" Oh, yeah.
Is that true, Juliana?
It is hilarious, and we should probably talk about these hilarious women. Playing the women who work in the plant are Heidi Nelson as Helen, and Paula Goebel as her sister Evelyn, and then Noelle Miller, who's playing Dorothy, and April Spring, who's playing Edna, and also Deb Clark, who's playing Mrs. Lucy Karen. So she's kind of like the administrative, you would call her an administrative assistant now, but she's kind of the head of the office there and keeps the women in line.
So it's not too often, I'm guessing, Juliana, it's not too often that you have the playwright right there with you.
Yes,
when you're directing the play.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Because when he's writing a play, he's visioning something, and you might have a different vision.
I ask him for notes. When he's there, I said, "Do you have anything to say, Michael?" And he will give a comment or two. So. Okay.
I mean, is that difficult, Michael, to see your production being directed by somebody else? I know you love Juliana.
I do love Juliana. We've been friends and worked together since back in the 80s. 1980s.
That's correct. We were both in junior high.
History, so we make it work. So, yeah.
Well, and then, it's lots of, the more great minds in the pot, the better. And so having Doug along with sitting back with a third eye on things, too, is very valuable. And so when we started it, I said it's going to be a collaborative process, and we'll be creating as we go because nobody's done this before, and it's worked out really well.
Now, it may not be fair to ask you this, Michael, because you haven't even had the first night production yet, but is it turning out the way you envisioned?
It is. It really is. There's narration. So what we've done is we've put 4 years worth of war, all of those songs, and the videos of the guys reading the letters, and then the music, and everything. We put 4 years of worth of war into 2 hours. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But the videos all turned out great. We had Troy Temple doing the videography on it, and the guys did an awesome job. We have narrators doing the history part of the war, and the storytelling. So they're telling the story of these battles and what happened throughout history. And then we also have, we're doing a salute to Liz Stropus. She was a world, let me see if I get it right, a WASP, Air Force Service Pilot, woman Air Force Service Pilot from Faribault. And she actually just died this last year. And so I took one of the interviews that she did talking about her years of service, and we have Kim Clausen portraying her and doing that interview and acting out that interview, I should say. And she just nails it. Kim has never been on stage before. She is a stage mother, and she's been watching her daughter Isabella doing these shows, and she thought that she'd give it a try, and she's wonderful. So. Yeah,
and our narrators are Kimberly, say your cousin's last name. Skluzacek. Okay. And also Amber Holven. And so, and they have a difficult job, they have to make it sound interesting when they give the narration pieces that pull and hold the whole thing together. And it's not like memorizing dialogue, They probably could take their own tests on World War II now, so.
Well, there you go. So do you see this being played anywhere else, Michael?
Yeah, a guy can dream. It might be a piece for the History Theater, but it's really got a Faribault connection, a Faribault base, so I kind of doubt it, but,
How about you, Juliana? You think it could be somewhere else played?
Well, you never know. I mean, this story of women working in the plants, keeping America running during the war is one that took place all over America, and certainly any number of small towns have stories that are like this. So I think it's a universal story.
Yeah.
So are we giving away tickets?
I don't know, are we?
We could, although we're getting close to being sold out for opening, but
I was told that on Monday. It might be sold out by now.
I don't think we're quite sold out.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. What is the name of the family who owned the plant for so many years? Michael just mentioned that he worked with the Sons.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
First person to...
What number should they call?
334-0061. 334-0061.
And the first person who calls with the correct answer will get a set of tickets for this weekend only. So that would be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday afternoon.
So they could go to opening night where you have the opening night reception.
Yes, free wine. Free wine and food.
Free wine? It's
and
kind
food.
of a no-brainer. People are going to jump all over this. So again, the number to call, 334-0061. If you know the name of the family, you only have to give the last name, that owned the woolen mill for a century.
Okay.
Probably over a century. Right, Michael?
Correct. Over a century. Should also give a shout out to All Is Calm is playing tonight as part of the Fessler Lampert series at Shattuck St. Mary's, and All Is Calm is the kind of narrated and musical retelling of the World War I Christmas truce. It's a beautiful story. Peter Latte is the producer of it, and they have sold out shows up here in the cities all the time every Christmas. So, but it's touring right now. It's going to be at Shattuck St. Mary's tonight only at 7:30, and I hope folks can get a chance to see that World War I story before they come over to the Paradise and see the World War II story this weekend and next weekend.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, Michael, because you're feeling under the weather, and I don't want to take up all your time. But thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Jordan. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Michael Lambert, do you want to say something to him, Juliana?
Are you coming tonight?
See how I feel later on today, and I'll let you know.
Okay. You just don't talk to my singers.
I love that comment. Just don't talk to my singers. Just don't talk to my singer. Juliana, we've got that on tape, Juliana.
We do? Oh, well. That's all right. We don't spread any germs this time in the show, you know?
You've heard this before, I'm sure, Doug, being a music guy.
I have.
Just don't talk to my singers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Protect their health.
Don't breathe on them.
So these have been fun ladies to work with, right? On the music?
They've been fun ladies to work with. I can say that as the only guy around until the drummer joined us.
Right.
I was in a harem.
So what I observed was a lot of the songs that we're doing did not have written harmony in them.
Right.
And Doug, along with the singers, they worked out that harmony together. And so for you guys, what was that process like?
Very creative, very fun, and it was a foregone conclusion that this was going to work. We had to put some effort into it.
Sure.
But these are talented singers, and I hung with them until we heard what we wanted to hear, and then we tweaked it over the last few weeks, and now we're very happy with the result.
So basically, you're saying, Doug, that any song can be harmonized, right?
Most any song can be harmonized. We have solo passages that are then followed by harmony. We have background oohs and ahs sometimes while a soloist presents. And then it's very dramatic when the low notes on the piano fall in and girls sing in three-part harmony that just cuts through the air.
Sure. What was the hardest song in the show to harmonize? You remember?
I think something called Winter Weather. It was a new song to me. It just rocks. It moves right along, but it has some odd chords, and the vocal track doesn't always mesh with it until the girls got a hold of it, and now it sounds just right.
Wow.
Yeah, it closes out the first act, and it's a great upbeat way to close out the first act.
So who did Winter Weather?
Who wrote it? I don't know, but
Well, I just wondered who performed it back in the day.
Tickler Freeman and Walter Brown.
Wrote it.
Words and music by Tickler Freeman and Walter Brown.
Okay. Winter Weather.
Michael had, he loves those old films, and so he has a rich inventory in his own head,
Sure.
about all this old music. So
Sounds terrific. By the way, congratulations to Shirley Ross, to Faribault. Shirley, you lucky person, you.
yes, Shirley. So just call the Paradise. I'll leave your free tickets down there for you. They're good for this weekend only, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday afternoon, and your name will be on them. What?
I was just telling her free wine on Friday.
Yes, free wine on
I don't
Friday.
know if Shirley's a wine person, but
And then the show continues next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then another Sunday matinee on the 18th. So the 15th to 16th and the 17th at 7:30, and Sunday, December 18th at 2. So 7 opportunities to see this wonderful show.
how much are the tickets?
They're $16.
What a great deal that is.
It is a great deal. And then they're $10 for 12 and under.
Oh, wow.
So
I mean, just think about that.
I think it's a very good value for for hometown entertainment, and
This is professional theater.
and you can bring your family, and I think that you'll have a wonderful holiday event out together. I would recommend that.
What would no age limit here?
I think if your child can sit quietly.
Okay.
I think that much below 8, they're not going to get a lot out of it, but there's a lot of music they'll enjoy.
Oh, sure. There's a lot of choreography with this too, Juliana?
There is some choreography. I had to teach some of these young women how to polka. They didn't know how to do that.
We're doing an Andrews Sisters number called Jing Jing-a-Ling, which is a polka, and they do a little schottish in there too.
Yes, a little schottish.
Yes.
They never heard of these dances, so I know it's shocking that we're not raising our young people right anymore.
And
Well, I
now-
thought every wedding dance had a polka, doesn't it?
They're obviously not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
So
they must not be.
Now,
no.
these girls look like they were raised in a ballroom. So
They're
yeah.
not good.
They are now.
They are now. It took
It's
a while.
a process, Gordy.
We took a while to get there, but
So did you
they
teach
look
them?
wonderful.
Did you teach
I
them?
taught them.
Okay.
Yes.
And I just had to adjust the tempo so that it would sound like a polka and allow them to do their thing.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun with this, Doug.
Yeah, I'm still having fun.
So you might have them on the hook for another show somewhere down the road here.
Oh, this isn't my first rodeo.
No, I know.
My foray back into theater was when they asked me to do Forever Plaid, and they gave me a set of music that had basically chords and a couple of bass notes, and said, "Here, fill in the rest."
Yeah, make up the left hand.
Oh my word.
That's what that score looks like, and you have to have a piano player who knows
And
how
feels.
and feels the music. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm certainly hoping every single one of these performances is a sellout. It's a totally local show, all about faribault.
I
and
know.
it
It's
should
a
be so
wonderful
cool.
story. It really is. And you know, so when you hear the names of the people, their last names and stuff, they're local names. We did take dramatic license, Michael did, in creating the stories of the women. These are not real stories about the women. I want to be real clear about
Okay.
that. But it has that feel of being real.
But the letters are real.
The letters are real. Yes, they are, and they're performed and read on the video by Matt Drenth, Steve Lawler, Samuel Temple, and Nate Chesney. So I got 4 great guys to read these letters and be in the show because they didn't have to be in the show.
Right.
So
You
yeah.
just did a video beforehand, and the video is in the show.
Right, and we did it in front of a green screen so that Troy could drop in the backgrounds that we needed, whether we were in the South Pacific or we were in Germany or England or wherever.
Before I leave, did Michael come up with a title, Wrapped in Love and Glory?
We there was a lot of talk on the board and everyone else, and we had like 5 titles that we were throwing around.
I love that title.
Yeah, and I think Michael kind of honed in and took one and tweaked it a little bit. So, box office opens at noon today. It's open till 8 o'clock tonight, 507-327372, and it's open an hour before performances as well.
All right. Thanks, Doug, for coming in.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Juliana, again.
It's always fun to be here.
And for arranging Michael. You're in tune to KDHL AM, Faribault, Minnesota.